I'm not gonna worry about the background. So Back to Black is a biopic about Amy Winehouse. It picks up just before she gets famous and before she puts out her first album. So I'm a fan of Amy Winehouse's music. So when I heard that they were making a biopic about her, I was interested. I didn't see the trailer for it until I went to go see Bob Marley One Love. I thought Bob Marley One Love would wind up being better than Back to Black was. Turns out I was wrong. Back to Black is better. Not comparing the artist, music, or whatever. I'm comparing the movies that we got. And the positive thing to start off with, it definitely has a stronger story than Bob Marley One Love. One of my criticisms about the Bob Marley movie was that they should have started the movie at a younger age. Here they start just around where things are the most interesting, and I feel they had enough of Amy's life in order to really pan out her as a character in the movie. So Marissa Alba as Amy Winehouse does a great job at capturing tone and the vibe of Amy Winehouse. She does like Amy Winehouse more towards the end of the movie. I'm not going to sit there and pretend to be the biggest Amy Winehouse fan and know everything about Amy Winehouse because I don't. So with the limited knowledge that I do have, I thought she did a great job at portraying who Amy was as a person, not just a celebrity.
I don't bang out 10 hits by lunch. I need to live my songs.
I read somewhere that Marissa Alba does her own singing. I don't know how true that is, but there were times where it sounded live. Marissa Alba was great in the movie. Jack O'Connell was great in the movie too. One of the things I kept hearing about Amy Winehouse was once she hooked up with her boyfriend, he pretty much ruined her and turned her into a drug head and all that. And I'm not sure how accurate it is, but this movie does a great job at playing both sides where you don't villainize either Amy Winehouse or her ex-boyfriend. You see both sides and you kind of see what both people are doing. He was just a well-acted character in the movie as well. Eddie Marsan, he was really good in the movie too. Sometimes when I watch movies, I don't recognize the people right away, and he was one of those people where I know I've seen him somewhere before, I just couldn't place the movie. I guess he was the main villain of Deadpool 2 if you don't count Juggernaut. He was the guy from Deadpool 2 torturing the mutants. Also the two women who played her aunt and her mom, they were great as well. This movie has a lot of little known actors who haven't been in much. The movie is well acted. The script is pretty solid. And with this being, based on real events and based off someone's real life, there are going to be some elements that are missing that no one could have possibly been around for if we're talking about someone who's passed on. And to give this movie another credit, I do appreciate how this movie handles those moments. There's speculation and then there's making something up for the movie. This movie, it kind of treats it like blackouts. And I get how to some people that could be considered a cop-out. With it being Amy Winehouse and this movie telling her story, it took those moments that they easily could have made something up and made it a part of the movie. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, for example, made up a lot of things that didn't happen just for the sake of the movie. It works there and it's fine, but this feels more personal. By the time it gets to points in the movie or points in Amy Winehouse's life where nobody was really around for, those are the moments that are either exaggerated on a little bit or someone just filled in the blank. For example, there's a point in here where Amy Winehouse and her boyfriend gets a hotel room. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but if he is, I see where they would be able to get his perspective and his accounts. But then there are times where Amy Winehouse was alone. People knew where she was, but nobody knew what she was doing, type of thing. I feel this movie handled those moments well, and that's not just this movie. That goes for damn near every other biopic there's ever been. There's gonna be some exaggeration. There's gonna be some fabrication. But with this one, I feel like they got it all pretty much. There may be a couple things they left out. I feel like I got a more complete understanding of Amy Winehouse. There were 2 or 3 editing mistakes. I don't know if they were mistakes or I did notice a couple times with the editing where it didn't quite line up or sync up to either the song that was going on or the actress singing. I could have gone for a few more just things that the movie gives you to show passage of time. I could have gone for a little more clear text, like 5 years later, a year later, a few months later. They give you almost as much needle drops as Bob Marley's One Love. I feel like they work better in Back to Black. Bob Marley One Love had Dewey Cox line delivery. This movie isn't necessarily about Amy Winehouse and what it was like for her to be famous and all of that. This was more about Amy Winehouse's relationship with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. We got a little bit of Amy Winehouse and the label not seeing eye to eye, but we didn't really get, there's not too much of the music making side of Amy Winehouse. I feel like that got pushed back in order to tell a more personal story, to where the fame and her being a celebrity is in the background. Is in the background for the most part until it gets to more than halfway in the movie. The beginning of the movie takes some time to get going and find its footing. As far as a character piece, this movie did what it was supposed to do. Give you a little more of an insight of the person they're focusing on. Peeling back the layers and showing you more of their human side. More of their flaws, more of their shortcomings. And I will say that this movie doesn't hold back on anything just because they're afraid to make Amy Winehouse look bad. I feel I got a better understanding of Amy Winehouse as an artist than I did before I seen the movie. And I seen the Amy documentary that came out a while ago. And it is an interesting movie. So other than a couple little editing mistakes, maybe the first half is a little slow. But other than that, I had a good time while I was watching the movie. I'll go ahead and give it a full recommendation. If you have no idea who Amy Winehouse is, I don't think this movie is going to be for you. It's not like Bohemian Rhapsody where not everybody really fucks with Amy Winehouse like that. If you just watch this movie as a regular movie without any of the biopic, it's a tragic movie. It doesn't lean towards tragedy. I mean, it's a tragedy in itself, but the movie more tries to highlight the beauty in the tragedy, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so if you like movie biopics, I believe you'll enjoy this one. Make sure you do this one, do that one. All right, y'all.